Welcome to Lavish Box, your luxury and beauty authority channel. Please travel back in time with me on this vlog at Louis Vuitton Time Capsule Toronto. This video is a travel trunk edition. I hope you guys enjoy it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching.
The 1900s. This is the bed trunk. This was designed for a French colonial explorer by the name of Savonier de Brazil. Exploring Africa at the time, he was able to lead a lot of explorers because he can outfold this in 10 minutes, and then it all collapses down and can be carried in this small luggage piece here. We've connected that to our lounge chair here, taken from the Object Nomad collection. So really living art in its form, but we try to keep it within the spirit of travel. So this small piece here goes into the middle, that then goes into this large section. The pillow tucks inside, and you use the straps to loop around, and it becomes a backpack. Wow. So really keeping again in that spirit of travel. Sorry? This one is not for sale. However, we do offer this in store. These furniture pieces though are very exclusive. So for example, this style in this color, there will only be 7 in the entire world. And this was partnered with Marcel Wanders. There's 12 world-renowned artists that we partner with, and that's our Object Nomad offer. And it's really, again, functional art. Here. So what those crossed ribbons were used for was you could put pictures of your family or from your home. So anytime that you were feeling homesick, you can open that and have a nice nostalgic moment. Even for some explorers, it was actually mapped out in terms of the constellations. So as they traveled through their explorations, they were able to guide themselves by the guiding of the stars. This was also one of the first rolling pieces of luggage. You can see very, very small wheels on the sides here. And that was to actually be rolled in and out under the bed on the ship. So it was very accessible, but maximized the space of your cabin. And we've connected it here to our newest rolling luggage, which is the Horizon. As well, here on the very end, you see one of the first monogram canvases that were created. A lot of people think that this is the original Vuitton print, but it was in fact the damier, the checker pattern, that had come first. But you notice every emblem looks a little bit different because at that time this was actually a hand-painted item. And the reason why this was created was to commemorate Louis Vuitton's death, and that was created by his son Georges Vuitton in 1896. As well too, if you notice the belt tie and the tie on the shoes, that was inspired from the tie of the luggage here to keep the clothes down. So something that we always try to keep living is any of the details from our history here. As well, if we look on the other side here, dating back, and as we advance into our next room, we look into journeys around the world. So as the travel industry continues to develop, new means of transportation were created, and we had the products in line ready to go for these developments. So here we start with the wardrobe trunk, and this was really used As well too, you have a secured case down here, and it is partnered with the bag that is next to you. So this is the steamer bag designed in 1901, and that's really the first introduction of a soft-sided piece in all of the world. And this is really actually where the idea of a handbag came from. What this would be used for originally is actually for laundry. So this would go in the open space of the bottom wardrobe front here, and as you arrived at your cabin, this would be on the back door, and you would stow away your laundry as you went through your voyage. And then as you departed, you could just take that, put it in here, and it was ready to be laundered as you did back home. You got it, yeah. And they're fully secure, so they have the lock on the top there. Even if you were a great Louis Vuitton client and you had multiple pieces, we can harmonize the locks so the same lock will work for all of the different pieces. And that's all on file still dating back to the start in the original workshop in Nanking and Paris. As we advance down this way as well, we go into the invention of the automobile. And Louis Vuitton was really able to actually anticipate the arrival of the automobile at this time. So when you look here, this is the chauffeur's kit. Because of the form, it would actually hold the spare tire. Including to that, it would also include some cleaning kits for his most prestigious clients. As he drove them through, he had to keep his car in pristine condition. It was also lined in metal, so he had a small washing station if ever required to actually clean the exterior of the car as well. So really taking it past the product and really making it all the way to 1891 here. So this is your first version of an expandable luggage used for train travel. Pretty simple in its design. It is a folded leather that is, when taken to maximum capacity, will extend, but something we might take for granted today with our just zipper around and it comes right up. But this is really the earliest sighting that we're seeing of this in history.
Just like this part is stretchy leather?
Exactly, you got it. So just basically the way that he's cut it, seamed it, and hinged it, it's able to extend just depending on the capacity inside the luggage. Nowhere near to what the developments are today, but really paving the way for the idea here. And connected it to a doctor's bag here, taken from one of Kim Jones' first shows with the company. And just a simple extension of the buckle on the side, but it's really great to see where it was originated from. As well too, one of the first compact offerings here was the cabin trunk. So this again was something that you could actually take in with you of the cabin of the railway, which was not an option before. And this would be small enough, just to stow under the bed of the cabin itself. We've related it here to the doctor bag. And you'll notice it might look like there's a handle missing, but that's all within the design. So even by simply holding one handle, this bag in its design is perfectly weighted that it will always remain flat. Yeah, so it's kind of an illusion there, but it will always remain flat regardless of what you put inside. And that completes the railway there, and then we move into our air travel here. So one of the first aero trunks that was created was as early as 1921. This was one of the first introductions of the low zine. So before we used to do metallics grayed across the edges of the leather, but it was very heavy. So in terms of air travel, we did need to come up with something that was a little bit lighter. So we came up with this leather bordering here and kept the brass corners on. And that also was a feature to absorb impact anytime that there was bounce or shock within a movement. As well as the wood on the exterior, which is a beech wood, which characteristic again is to absorb shock. On these pieces above here, we have some of our men's vanity cases. Even this one on our side here is a piece that's owned by a Canadian client, and this is a collaboration of Kim Jones and the Chapman brothers. The Chapman brothers are known for taking these animalistic interpretations, making them a little bit more dark and urban. So it's a very, very signature piece to us and something that's exclusive to the Canadian town capsule as well. The air travel finishes off with the wardrobe trunk. So reinventing that first idea from the sea travel, but in a more compact way as it has to come on a plane. This piece here at that time was actually the lightest weight on the entire market. Does anyone want to guess how much this weighs without any clothing in it? 26 kilograms, so it was still quite heavy at that time, but this was the lightest on the market, and this would fit just on the back tail end of a very small boat. But in that as well, this is actually a stand, so if you see the hangers would flip up, you release this band, so you would basically have a wardrobe closet on the wheel.